Hi, welcome back again. Today, let's discuss about string data type in Python. String is nothing but a sequence of characters. If you see the examples on my screen, Hari, is a sequence of characters. That is a string. Even 10 by itself is an integer, but when you are keeping it in a single quotes, in a quotes, it's a string. Same goes with 10.0 and other multi-word. If you see, when it is enclosed within quotations, it becomes a string in Python. Strings can be in a single, double, or triple quotes. We're going to see examples why and how it can be used. Yeah. So if you see, name Ravi, which contains a sequence of characters RAVI, and it's a string. When I print it, what is the type of this name? And you can guess it is going to be string. And then, since Ravi is a sequence of characters, we are keeping it in a single quotes. It's a string data type. But in case, let's suppose you have a string, let's do it. When I print it, I'm going to face an error because see, let's is also having a single quote. So Python treats this as starting and ending of the string, let in single quotes. So that is where, in this case, instead of single quotes, we can use a double quotes. Okay, because already our string is having a single quote, we can use it in double quotes, and this is also a um, string data type. You see class str. So this is a string data type. Now let's take another example. Uh, Here, whenever we write some quotes, um, here I have written one quote given by Mahatma Gandhi. So we generally represent quotes in a double quote, right? Uh, in this case, I can't use a double quotes. Either I can use a single quotes, or even I can use three single quotes. See, this is one of the ways I can use, or you can use it in a single quote also. Okay, so both of these will be strings. So it's a convenience given to us. So whenever our strings have this kind of single quotes or double quotes in it, accordingly we can use to keep it in the quotations, and then we can create a string. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now, like integers and like boolean, whenever you create a string, it goes and stores in the memory, and that memory will have an address, and that address is used to refer that particular value in the memory. In this case, it's string. And as I discussed earlier, strings are immutable data types. um, that means once created, it cannot be modified. If modification is done, it'll go and create it in a other address in the memory. Let's see that. This is one address we have taken. Okay, it's in a variable called address underscore string. Now if I see, right, address we can know by using a function called id. Now if you run this, you will get this address. So this is the address where this is stored, and it can be referred using this variable. Okay, this is variable, this is address, this is the value. Okay, now let's suppose I want to modify this address test. This is not 103, this is 104. Okay, I modified it. Now if I modified it, uh, let me print this again. I'll clear this. Now when I print it, okay, so you can clearly see the earlier address is 5456, that is ending with 5456. Now whatever the modification I made, the variable name is same. Okay, but the value here is 896. Okay, so it is stored in a different address. When you modify the value, it gets stored in a different address. So that is where strings are immutable. We cannot do the modifications on strings. Okay, now let's discuss string functions. uh, Before we discuss string functions, first we need to understand what a function is. Function is nothing but a block of code for a particular type of task we are doing. Okay, you imagine going to an ATM, and you have different functionalities there. One is for balance, one is for withdrawal. You can do a password change, you can do deposit. Imagine each one of these as a separate functions. Okay, one function is for the checking the balance. There is one function exists, one set of code exists. So when you press a balance, so it goes, that particular code goes and checks what is your balance, and it will display on your screen. Okay, like the same withdrawal, when you press withdrawal button, that particular function or a block of code gets called, and then it does what a withdrawal has to do. Like it will ask you to enter the amount that you want to withdraw, and then it will dispatch the money. The same for the other functionalities. Okay, so that is how a function can be thought of. But within function there are built-in functions, there are user defined functions. Let's understand that. Let's understand the differences with an example. Basically, by definition, built-in functions are readily available from the programming language. When you install Python, along with that, all these built-in functions are available. But user-defined functions, as per your need, as per your requirement, you are going to define that. Okay, you have to write a certain functionality. Okay, as per your project work, there is a requirement to write a certain logic, and then that you are writing the piece of code in a function, that is a user defined function. Okay, we are going to write this and check, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and understand it with an example. uh, See, baking a cake, take that as one functionality. Okay, this can be done two ways. One, uh, the cake mix we need to prepare, right? When you want to bake a cake, first you need to prepare a cake mix. This cake mix, you can do it at home by getting all the ingredients, or you go to a store, you get a pre-packaged cake mix. Okay, so wherein they already mixed it with required proportions, flour, sugar, baking powder, and then all you have to do is get that and bake your cake. Imagine you are preparing the cake mix at home as a user defined function, where you have to write, where you have to do everything by yourself. But prepackaged cake mix has something like built-in function that is already available. But what are the benefits? One, time saving. Okay, instead of you mixing individual ingredients, right? So you can rely on that mix available in the market. Okay, and this ensure good results because they might have mixed it in right proportions. um, when we do it at home, sometimes it might go wrong and the overall taste of the cake may not be as expected. And then convenience, it simplifies your baking process. So, at a high level, so When it is user defined, you have to do everything by yourself. When it is built in, it is already pre available, all you need to do it, you can use it. That's what I want to convey here. Now let's start understanding. So there are many functions available predefined for strings. So these are some of the functions. Normally I create one small sample story to remember. You don't have to remember the syntax, just understand and remember that there is a certain function available, predefined function available for this particular activity. You don't need to remember the syntax, I'm repeating that. But you just need to know, like, okay, there is a function called find available, there is a function called split available. Here the pictures I represented is just to remember, like, okay, so if you see a person went to library to find a book, and then but the library is split into, okay, into two sections with countless number of books. Okay, there is a partition here, right? In this huge library, and then at a lower rack, okay, she found the book. Like this I created my own story. You can always create your own story to remember. Right. So these are some of the functions available. And then we'll go to this and then see in Python how these functions can be used while manipulating the strings. Okay. I will just comment this. So this is the key to comment or uncomment. Yeah. Now see, the first function that we are going to see is the is title, whether that particular string is a title or not. So how do you know it's a title? When it is a title when your string is having the first letter and last first letter of each word as a capital letter. Okay, right. Let us. Okay, so here the story underscore name is the Batman. T is capital, B is capital. So the first letters of two words are capitals. Hence, it's a title. And please remember, whenever there is a is in your function, okay, is it a title? So what is your answer? Yes or no? That's a boolean, right? You only have two results, outcomes, yes or no. So whenever a function starts with is, it's normally is a boolean. So here, since t and b are capital letters, the result is going to be true. See, you can see true. Now imagine your Batman starts with B. Okay, so the second word first letter is not capital, so it's not a title. This is a false. Okay, this is about the title. Next is in. Okay, in is not specific to strings. It can be used in another data structures in Python, which we are going to see. In is not a function. Any function will have this opening and close braces, but in is maybe you can think like a keyword. um, Let me show how. See, name one is man, name two is Batman. Okay, you want to check if man is in Batman. It's there, right? If you see, it's man is there. Okay, name one value which is man is inside Batman. How do we do that? We use in. Print name one in name two. Okay, let me execute this. True. Same in also um, results in a boolean value, true or false. Now let's suppose I'm doing it as fan. It's a false. Okay, that's how in works. um, Before we go into other functions of strings, let's first understand what is index. If you open any textbook, or any book you have, you can see that every page is marked with an index number. Starting from 1, you have your page numbers which is printed on each page, right? In a similar way, in computers, in programming also, uh, you have index available. If you can see the example here, this is one string. Okay, so this string will have an index of each character starting from 0. When I say, it is like this: the first character starts with 0, which represents M. A is 1, T is 2, H is 3, and so on. Like that, till the end, you have the index numbers. So when you take index 0, that means you are referring to M. Index 1 is referring to A. Okay, let's see how whether index is giving correctly or not. In this, I'm printing index underscore string of 0. So 0 is what? M, right? So ideally I should get M as an output. See, you can see M here. Similarly, if I take 1, 1 is A, the second character here. Okay, this index can be used for other data structures also, which will go when we discuss those topics. But for now, please remember that index starts with 0, which is very important. Unlike in our books or somewhere, you can see it always starts with 1, but in computers 0 is very important. It always starts with 0. Yeah, let's go to the let's go to the functions now. The first function is the index function. Okay, here instead of index of a letter, I am using index of a word. Okay, my string is, let me uncomment this one. Here my string is having many words, it's a sentence. Okay, here what I want to find is, I want to find whether a word that I am looking is in this sentence. If so, at what index is this present? Okay, if you can see, the word vein is available and it is here, okay, as a second word. Now let's execute this and see what it is giving us. It is giving us 6. Okay, you can see here, it starts with 0, as you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth is the space, even space is counted. Sixth is letter W. That means this word that I am searching is starting at the index 6 in this string. Okay, now you can try this example by giving different other words within this sentence and understand like how the index is starting. Now let's execute for a word which is not available in this. See, the word enemy is not available in this sentence, correct? Now let's execute and see. I will just clear. Okay, see, you got an error, substring not found. Okay, so in index function, whenever you are searching for a it's called substring, a string inside a string, right? So this line 1 is string, though it's a sentence. In Python, whatever is in single quotes is a string, right? So in this string, you are searching for a smaller string which is called substring. Okay, so this substring is not available in this string, then it is giving us an error, error substring not found, right? So because it isn't found, it is giving an error. How to handle this error is an exceptions topic, which is we are going to discuss in later. But now you remember, index will give the index of where it is. I mean, at what index that word is starting, and if the word is not available, or if the substring is not available, it is going to give an error like substring not found. Now we have an other function called find. That's the next function. So this also more or less does the same, or work in the same way. as index, but now we'll see the difference. Okay, so now in this sentence I'm trying to find this word vein. Okay, let me execute this. I will clear this out. Let me execute this. Yeah, now we got 6. We know how we got 6, right? So now it is starting with 6. Let's now search for a word which is not available in this sentence. So the substring here is Superman. Superman is not available in this sentence. Now what we got? We haven't got any error. We got -1. Okay, it is very useful sometimes. In your programming you can make a choice whether you to use an index function or a find function. Okay, find basically works like an index, but here in case if it is not able to find the word it is searching for, it gives you -1. Okay, when you get a result as -1, you can understand that it is not available. However, in the other case, when you get an error, your program crashes, right? So your program no longer goes to the next section, or um, that point of execution where it sees a failure, it will stop there. But here it's not like that. It gives you a result, but it gives -1. Okay, so this is the difference. Based on that, you can take a decision to use which function. Let's go to the next function. Okay. uh Next function is upper. So let's in some cases, let's suppose you are reading a sentence and you have some words which are lower. uh Imagine these words like ASAP. Normally ASAP is a short form of as soon as possible, right? So when you write words like this, you always have them in upper letters. Okay. um LOL, laughing out loudly, you give it in upper letters. But here but you want to identify these words and convert it to upper letters. How do you do? There is a function called upper. Okay, here I am executing this. You can see it converts your string to uppercase. ASAP dot upper, the string dot upper, it is converting to uppercase. Okay, simple. The name also is very clear. The upper converts to the uppercase. In a similar way, lowercase. Let's suppose your sentence has an and in uppercase. Ideally, and should be in the lower, right, in the sentence. In this case, and is in the converted into lowercase using a function called dot lower. Yeah, let's go to the next function in strings. It is split. um, Split function is very useful and handy. When you're writing your code, you encounter a lot of times where you have to split the string. Okay. Here in the example, if you see, uh, date is 10th May 2024. Okay, so and it is divided by this, right? And 10th is the day, May is the month, 2024 is the year, right? So here, in this case, I want to split this by to day, month, and year. So what do? I use a function called split. Date dot split of, I give this. So whatever, so in some cases you will have colons, in some cases you will have
Hi,
a commas. Okay, comma
let's
separated
continue our
values.
discussion here.
Sometimes you get, there is a list of marks you got. Okay, 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50. Now you want to split that marks subject wise. Okay, in that case, you do dot split of comma, because there in your string you have commas. Okay, so but here we are using this to split. Let's see what is the outcome. See, this is called a list. Now don't worry about it, but yeah, now you can clearly see you have 10 as one string, May as one string, and 2024 as one string. Okay, it's in a single quote, so it's a string. So three separate strings we got. Now how do I get day, month, and year? Okay, here also we got combined as one list. Okay, so again, the index, right? In the strings, each character is the index. In the same way, in a list, each one of these values is a string. So the first 0th is 10, first index is May, second index is 2024. So this is the split date we got, which is this result. Okay, here you want the first element, use a 0. Okay, split underscore date of 0. What do I get here? Oh, I haven't printed. Print day. Okay, here I'm splitting it, I'm assigning it to a day. Right, I got 10. So 10 is the day. In a similar way, here I'm splitting by month, which is 1. Okay, print month, and here print year. So let's see what are we getting here. See, 10 is the day. This print has given us 10 here. This print has given month here, and this print has given year. Okay, so like this we are splitting. Okay, and how you split, you decide based on your string, comma, colon, any hash or whatever. Based on your string, you divide the strings. Okay, that is all about split. Let's get to the next function, that is join. Now you have splitted in the previous section. Now how do I join? Okay, if you see carefully, right, this is the exact output you got once you split. Okay, a list with set of strings. Okay, see, here your values are, let's suppose this is a folders list. Okay, it contains c colon documents python file. Now you have to join this and create a path. Okay, your file.py is present at c colon slash document slash python slash file python dash slash python. Now how do I join all this? Okay, and create one string, which is the path where this file is present. So for that you use a function called join. Okay, now for join function, I have to specify how do I join. You know, right, any path will have the slash. Correct, you might have seen a path will have a slash. So c colon slash document slash python slash file.py dot join of, this is the list you have to give here. Okay, let's run this. See, the output you got is this, c colon slash documents python file.py. So this is also very useful function. A lot of times you will get a requirement to join multiple elements. Okay, uh, so you please remember this function, it's very important. Let's go to the next one. Here we will see the replace function. As the name suggests, you have to, it helps us to replace one word with another, or one substring with another substring in a string. So user message is I love python, thanks for the help, but love spelling is love, right? Here let's suppose user has entered, so this is a chatbot data where user has entered and you're trying to correct it. Okay, in this case you have to use user underscore message dot replace whatever is the word here. So what it does is, in this string it will check where is this word, and then it will replace it with this word. Okay, let's see the final outcome. See, I love python. Let's suppose again I put one more love here. Okay, so I have multiple words I have to replace. In that case, wherever it finds this particular luv, it will replace with lov. Okay, that's what replace does. As I already told you, if a function starts with is, it is always boolean. The result is always boolean, either true or false. Is alpha here refers to, is the string having all the alphabets or not? If the string has all the alphabets, I mean to say, if the string has only alphabets, it gives us true. If the string has any other characters apart from alphabets, then it is going to give false. Let's test it. The string that I took has a number 30. Okay, 30 numerals numeric is there. Hence it should give us false. See, the result we got is false. Now let's change this to 30 and execute. Now you can see it is given true. And let's have a space here. Yeah, now we got again false because it has a space. Space is also a character and it is not alphabet. Hence, it has given false. And the next function we are going to discuss is all num. So, as the name says, is the string alphabets and numbers. Okay, it accepts and it gives us true when a string has either alphabets or numbers. But if any other character is there, it is going to fail or give false for us. Let me execute this. Yeah, it's true because we only have alphabets and numbers here. Let's suppose after mobile number I put a colon. Mobile number, this the number I've given here, which is numbers, and here it's alphabets, but here I've given a colon. See, you got false. Yeah, that's how is all num works. Next is length. Um, Length gives you number of characters in the string. If the string here has Amitabh, okay, so when I execute it, it gave 7. So Amitabh has 7 characters: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so it doesn't start with 0 here because this is not index. All we are doing is number of characters. It has 7 characters, so it has given 7. But if you want to know the index, a index is always 0, m1, yeah, and so on. Okay, thank you. Here my first function I'm going to discuss is alpha.